Good evening, all of you. Today we are going to take, as per the schedule, the 3.7, that is safety in docks, whereas 3.7.1 is already completed, the safety in docks, where in that the handling of the cargo is going to be started today, and then containers, and then lifting appliances and the responsibilities of different agency for safety, health, and environment involved in dock works. Handling of cargoes and the operations of the container operations are almost all equal, but there are some the cargoes handling is different from container operations because the cargoes where it is coming from the ship from various countries, it is unloading and keep the place in the bank of the river and the storages. The organization is ready and they can take it out. But where in that there are some customs operations are required to take care of all gate pass and all. The container operations also is different from cargoes because cargoes are having the individual the organizations having that cargoes, whereas the container is having the multiple objects are there for different under organizations. They have to come and they have to identify as per the invoice. They have to unload the things and taken care of after the customs preparation is completed. These are the main difference is there. Coming to the handling of cargoes, today we are going to take this is the cargoes where it is ship is going to be ready to receive the dock for jetty and then ready to unload for the keeping the platform and all. And there is after the unloading, it is storage in the storage yard and waiting for the organizations after completion of their export, after the completion of the customs report and all, after the gate pass, they have to give. This person is staying with giving some signals to take care of the traffic. This also, these supervisors are observing while the heavy the unloading cranes are there, or loading cranes are very difficult to taken care of. These are the some visible pictures which you can understand very easy, even though you know all these things. But before talking the subject, it is will be very difficult. Very happy to see you also. Uh, Coming to this safety in docks, for example, handling of cargoes, I have targeted the safety, potential safety, as well as the hazards, potential hazards and all. And then they will go to the next step. Here are more detailed explanation of the safety in docks. What titles here is a moving cargo, types of cargo, equipment, safety, and the efficiency and regulations, the technology. Of course, yesterday we have discussed about last class. We discussed about the handling of cargo. These five, because the activities involved in the moving cargo from ship to the storage, and then type of cargoes. Already we have discussed about the 20 TEU as LEU. That means 20 foot and 40 foot. And equipment, what are they going to be used for the taking care of the loading and unloading? What are the safety measures to be taken care of? Are the points already we have discussed in the last class. Here is a more detailed explanation with respect to the continuation of this. Efficiency is also important, and regulations to be DG policy regulations, as I have shown the dock safety also. Technology is very important because automated guided vehicles is also there to take care. Once again, we can take care of the loading and unloading. It's a very crucial activity, very nominal activity, very continuous activity is there. The people are having experts in the staying at air, and they will tell the things. Here the operate, here the what is called signals are there. Lot of communication is required for the completion of your task. Moving cargo is important. The types of cargo already discussed. Equipment, watch is going, and safety is also. Efficiency also depending upon the how best we can minimize the delays. For example, the document works is completed and minimize the delays because the once the document work is completed, definitely it will be taken care of the unloading at various places before they are planned. Coming to this, the cargo handling ships, there are some which I uh, taken into the consideration for your brought up for the knowing the things, 10 tips that can save your life who are working in your docks works while cargo handling. Cargo handling as an activity has developed from being purely manual driven to an activity that is performed using latest materials handling equipment from money can buy. Because the earlier is manual is there, now the things are automatically is coming like forklifts and all. But humans still have important role to play in cargo handling, which essentially throws the door opens for divers and the serious range of safety concerns. Though equipment facility is involved, the involvement of the persons is more in the dock works while cargo handling and all, the container operation, etc. Humans still more important role to play in cargo handling, which essentially throws a management to take care of the safety measures without having any serious range of injuries and all. That's why, though technology is improved, but we have to be very careful. It's important that shipping personnel are well aware of various considerations that need to be kept in mind to perform cargo handling operations on ships and with utmost safety. It's very important. It's important that shipping personnel, that means those who are working permanently in the dock operations and all, as well, that they should be aware of various considerations, not only the lifting techniques and the unloading techniques and stacking techniques, and the keeping techniques and operation of the equipment, etc. And also documentation work is also very important to keep the history to maintain. If anybody requires to do the audit as per the DG policy regulations and all, need to perform cargo handling operations on ships at most safety. Knowing the safety measures, that means safety, knowing the essential safety features, and making appropriate use of materials, handling equipment are just some of the ways you can make sure you are able to handle cargo safely on ships. Because once you know the safety features, who's the operating of the things, they have to guide them, the drivers, and they have to guide them with signals as this, as this, and this. Once these are operators or drivers are very experienced candidate and all, experienced candidates and all, these are the supervisors, engineers, has to be taken care of. The work should be in a systematic manner without having entering on this. That's why very important area. That's what you want to convey. People should be aware of this. Let's take a look at some essential tips that need to be kept in mind while handling shipboard cargo. Knowing these tips can mean the difference between the life and death. Because if you know these tips, it will be helpful for the person who is working, uh, or the following, or the all the employees or the co-employees, to save their life, and importance of the between the life living as well as the death. Then they know the differences between the. That's what the knowing these tips it can mean the difference between life and death. That's why it's what 10 tips that can save your life. It's a very nominal thing to should know about the employees, those who are working in the docks operations. For example, if you take the wearing protection, tip one is the protection equipment. Tip two is the do not interfere with the use of safety device and understand all safety procedures. Tip two is identify the shelter positions with respect to the cargo, keeping the position after unloading or unloading. Loading in the sense of in the ship's designated places only, you have to keep the loaded, and the unloading stacking is also designated properly decided as per the documentation. That's why tip three is identify the shelter positions. Securing the cargo, because we have to need to once the ship is before the ships arrives, we have to uh, securing the cargo with all the locks and tags and inside materials and all. They having the all security jobs and all. With respect to the not only the theft, but also it should be secured not to the what we call the hampering with the safety conditions of the weather conditions, or the fire prevention methods. If you're not maintained, it will be extended to the cargoes also. Therefore, secure is important. Tip five is the right usage of light lifting equipment, because the liquid lifting equipment should be taken care of. Here, what we need to see here is here the lifting equipment is very important. How much the loads can be taken care of. There are a number of lifting techniques are there. Number of loads are there while arriving the ship, the unloading from the ship, and the storage handling cargoes are a different capacity. These having the different capacities, and these are having the different capacities and operations also. So we have to use the this lifting equipment, or the this equipment should not be used here, and this equipment should not be used this year. It's all the fixed equipments only. It should not be any tralleys or any mobile. That is why we have to use the right equipment for right place. What we want to say, the right use of the lifting equipment is important. Purpose served. Tip six is the no standing under hoisted cargo, because the cargo, if you take the unloading and loading under which the cargo is there, the person who are working here, who are walking, or pedestrians should not stay. That is the important one of the tip. Everybody knows, but we have to follow by the supervisors who are observing this. No standing under the hoisted cargo means which cargo is under the loading and stacking operations are there. Tip 7 is entering enclosed spaces, because we have to see that the very nominal things to be taken care of. It will be discussed in coming slides. These slides. Importance of proper visibility is there, because identification traceability is important, because once they received from the organization, we have to keep the storage in the cargo handling storage, and then when the ships are coming, it will be shifted to the in the ships by informing the organizations and all. Until then, you have to see that the importance of the proper visibility and identification is also important. Once you mark it, it should not be any wipe it out or the getting away due to the rain, due to the raining and all. That's why this importance of proper visibility is also one of the tip. It not save your life, but it saves your time and the without having the hampering of the uh, work also. Bulk cargo is important. Where the bulk cargo, I already told, the one cargo is having the different materials, different organizations materials, or the one organization is having different parts of the ships like this. That is the bulk cargo, where we have a bulk of materials will be there. Last but not least, contact the supervisors in case of problem. Any problems is there while loading and unloading or to cargo handling and all. The co-suppliers or the co-workers, not co-suppliers, co-workers or the co-engineer or co-pilots, or we can say the captain of the ship, we can talk to this and clear your doubts also. I already told these steps. These are just some of the many tips that you should kept in mind to improve the safety of the cargo handling process. That means what I want to say here is only this some. These are not the 10 limited to 10. It is limited to more than 10 also. Now coming to this protection of the equipment, wearing the right kind of equipment, personal protective equipment is a paramount importance while moving cargo from one place to another. Equipment like safety harness, safety helmets, safety shoes, and the various others must be used at all times while handling cargo on ships. Another aspect that must be considered is the maintenance of the equipment and checking it for the damage prior to use also. So, what is the whatever the wearing of the personal equipment, depending upon the importance of the while moving cargo one place to the another place. What are the equipments used for moving from one place to another place by the cargo? The equipments like safety harness and the safety helmets that person has to wear it. Another aspect is the maintenance of the aspect also before use it. You have to see that equipment also. That is the though the operator is not having any responsible with respect to the maintenance, but while taking this driver into hand of the equipment, he has to check in all aspects before the maintenance engineer and see that once the green holds pass, then it will be used for the operation. That is the while checking by the driver, always the maintenance captain will be there to see that is green signals. That's why second one is do not interfere with the use of safety device. Understand all safety procedures because before handling the cargo, the crew should be told of the various site safety devices and that will protect them in case of unward incident because the various crew is coming from different places of different contractors. The supervisor is a permanent there. He has to work permanently there. He knows the better way of understanding the safety devices as well as the understanding of the safety procedures. He has to see that adapted a good training to uh, the crew before starting the work. The crew should in no way interfere with the working of such devices or alter their functioning in any way of term. Because the crew work is to see that they have to transfer the goods only. Here they are not supposed to see the any things about the equipment. That's what they do not interfere with the use of safety devices and all. What are the equipment is having the safety with respect to safety by the cargo having or the lifting techniques. The crew should not have any interference with the influence to the operations. That will be taken care by the maintenance and dock safety supervisors and all. Only their work is, the crew work is, they transfer the things from one place to another place which they designated. Something else that is important is understanding all safety safe methods and practices of cargo handling and making sure they are adopted without shortcuts, and see that the crew should not have any shortcut methods while doing their jobs after they are assigned. These are the supervisor's work as to see. That's why they are not supposed to interfere. This was very important. Identify shelter positions also important. If you are working on the open deck while
Excuse me, sir.
hello.
Sir, just increase your sound, voice volume, sir.
Sorry, sir. Definitely, sir. Definitely, Naresh Garu. Sorry. Sorry, sir. Thank you. Identifying the shelter
Voice
position.
volume.
Now, you see, I, okay. Identify the shelter position. Now it is visible, sir. Audible, sir.
Now, okay, sir.
Sorry, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Naresh Garu. Identify the shelter positions. If you are working on the open deck while handling cargo, it is important that you are well aware of shelter option that will protect you in case of falling cargo, or where you can wait till the hosted cargo has been placed on the deck or amidships, because once the cargo is hanging, we have to see that long time hanging is not supposed to be allowed. Before taking into the storage yard, we should know the designated place of that particular cargo, and should not allow much what is called on the hanging position. That's what the want to say. That's why first of all we have to identify the shelter position also. First of all, if we are working on the open deck while handling cargo, it's important that you are well aware of shelter options, where it should be sheltered, where the position of the storage, and because some designation places will be given by the supervisors before reaching the ship itself. But the crew should not know, but the supervisor should know, dock supervisor. That's why we are not the supposed to be. You can wait till the hosted cargo has been placed, and because we have to immediately, much time should not be taken care of while hanging the cargo and all. That's why people are the dock supervisors, and the safety captains and all should aware of the particular cargo's designation very clearly, having no ambiguity while carrying this. Because if the ambiguity is there, it is take more time to lift on the ground and placing on the ground. Until then, it will be hoisted with a only that wire ropes only. It's very dangerous to the not only equipment but also the damage of the property also. Securing the cargo is very important. The tip 4 is, it's of paramount importance. All cargo is secured. Very important. Everybody knows about it. But When it arrives on deck and not on piggybacking cargo, is a secure cargo is safe cargo and it needs to be secured as soon as it is placed in storage area, because once it is in the ship, none will be responsible, only the captain will be responsible. After reaching to the dock, the dock safety supervisors or dock management has to have a responsibility to unload the things. So once the a secure cargo of safe, it needs to secure to be see and ensure that storage areas to be reached very safely. Loose items of cargo can prove the to be dangerous, and you don't want to situation from on your hands, because inside the cargo they're having some loose items are there, where the uh, packing or the segregation is not important and tightly is there. That's why we have to be very careful in losing items should not be arises. Otherwise, it is seriously injure some onboard personnel also. That's why the secure the guard is important. Something else that one must remember is that any and every cargo that is not in a containers should be properly secured at all times, because we have to see that some of the what is called things to be without having any authorization, they'll open the cargoes and see the some of things will be taken care of. That should not be happened. It should be locked and tagged, and the authorized person should be only open while the time comes as per the organization directions. Tip 5 is the right use of lifting equipment. We have to use the right use of the right equipment for the purpose of how much the capacity. In place of forklift, in place of what is called some other what is called should not be tampered. It should not be danger. Very changes the equipment because of availability. That's why right use of electric equipment. Sometimes some of the workers having the 5 tons equipment is not there. They can use the 6 tons also. 6 tons equipment or 8 tons equipment. What is the purpose they are using? Energy loss is there, or waste of economy, waste of money, or vice versa is very dangerous. 6 to 8 is also okay, but the energy loss is there, the financial loss is taken, contractor payment is more, and it will be unnecessary use of the whether the typewriter is having the trained with the 8 tons, only he has trained for 5 tons. That is also we have to see. There are many things are there. That's why cargo handling and ship requires use of lifting equipment like wire rope, slings, hooks, forklifts, cranes, etc. As somebody working with such equipment, you need to be able to make sure that the equipment has been tested. That means inspected by the authorized persons and giving the certification like the inspector of factories, and the maintained according to the relevant rules and regulations as per the DC policy. And more importantly, you must be able to use this equipment the way it is supposed to be used. Yes. The way it is to be used means what the direction is manual says, that is only in way it to be used. Where the reverse should not be taken, don't take the reverse. How much height is recommended? You can take up to the cargo lifted and the shifted to the storage. Above that, you cannot lift it. Incorrect uses of lifting, what happened? Definitely lifting equipment can put the lives of people working in and around this equipment in jeopardy. That means accident occurred if you use improper. That's what the important to say it is. No standing under all stages cargo, because I already told there is no question of the standing of the pedestrians or standing of the supervisors, where the cargo is moving from one place to another place with a crane and all, or hoisted and all. That's very important point. In an environment where cargo is being handled, there is always a danger of being hit by the a load. If you are standing in paths or under it, there are there have been some tragic incidents and all because of the persons was standing under the hoisted. Because in cargo in Visakhapatnam, I have seen the while I am going to the audited purpose. During the audited, I want to see that certificates verifications of the various cranes and equipment. And after the satisfaction of this, then I will go to the work spot how they are operated. But operators, some of the operators are not trained. Some of the operators are trained up to 5 tons, but they are operating the 8 tons and 10 tons also. But the certificate is limited to 5. There are some gaps are there. That's why. And also another thing we observed that the pedestrians who are the walking while going to the what we call these places where they want to have a tiffin time and all, without seeing the hanging position, they will do. That's why we suggested the pedestrian's path is different while unloading and loading. They have done the things, both Visakhapatnam porters, they have done the separate pedestrian path, not will be having any relation to the handling path is also taken care of. It will be very helpful for the, after that, definitely the accidents rate will be reduced. Step 7 is entering enclosed spaces is important. In many cases, the personnel in uh, the charge of handling cargo will need to enter an unventilated cargo hold, not adherent to the proper safety procedures, might result in them entering oxygen deficiency. Confined spaces are once they parked with the toxic gases, because where the bulk cargo is there, some of the contents will be removed in one small cargo or the small container, or the industry send some containers. We have to ship that the cargo substances or the items will be shifted to the container, organized container. While shifting, first of all, they have to enter into the cargo where the enclosure space is there. You have to see that it should be treated as the worker at confined spaces, because you have to see that oxygen, the deficiency could not arise. The worker who is identifying the object in the cargo and advise the crane operator to lift this during that time, you should have a proper oxygen to taken care of to work. That's why this works while transferring from the articles or the substances or the handles of various things, cargo to container, cargo to another container, cargo to forklift. Like this, you have to see that once enter into the cargo, it should be treated as a confined spaces, because proper ventilation to be given properly, and treat that oxygen should be a 17 to 19% above should be there for the workers who are gone inside the cargo for taking care of the ships shipping of the shifting of the materials from the cargo to the container. This is very important area where we are not supposed to be simply tampering and see that only sometime only nothing will happen. Like this means it will become a, because a lot of time will be taken, different types of substances are there having the different types of orders. The man who is entering into the cargo may not have a sufficient suffocation will be taken care of, and because of different orders are there. Sometimes they have some the hazardous materials also will be taken care of. The proper oxygen content is not there for the employee who has gone to the cargo. It's very dangerous to that person. Those who cannot identify what happened to that person also, because only one or two members will go. Only one man will go means one man is keeping outside and see that. If they're not treated as a confined space, they're not maintaining